Hey y'all. So I wanted to come on to tell you in this Ziklag season that your pain has purpose, and so do the people who caused it. Remember David and the men that were coming against him when they lost everything, their families, their city was burned down, and everything seemed to be going opposite of what God had told him was going to happen. He was supposed to be the king. How could this happen? And those men who he had led and served were now ready to kill him. We don't even have to use David. We can use Joseph. What about his brothers? What about how they put him down? They sold him out. He was lied on and then forgotten about. Everything that happened for both of these men was for purpose, right? And the people who were there were strategically put there by God. I know that it doesn't make sense because they did things that were painful, right? But sometimes we have to understand that in this journey and this life of being a Christian, what we think makes sense is not the way that God wants to do it. He knows us. He knows what it's going to take to bring us into the fullness of who He wants us to be. And so He allows people in our lives to cause pain. But this message is not necessarily about the pain. It's about the people. Because although these people did things to him, they all had purpose. And it wasn't just to be used by the enemy. Joseph's brothers had a purpose. They would be the children of Israel. Saul had a purpose. He was going to teach David how not to be as king. The men who he served that wanted to stone him had purpose because they would be his warriors. See, even though people do things to hurt you, that doesn't negate the fact that God has purpose for them as well. So in this Ziklag season, I need you to understand that God knows everything. He loves us all. Just because they did something to hurt you doesn't mean that God doesn't love them. There are consequences to all of our actions, and that's true. He'll deal with that. Vengeance is His, it's not yours. But today I want you to have a heart to pray for the people who have hurt you. Pray for them knowing that they have a purpose. And it's God's purpose. He has something very special for them. And maybe they don't understand it. Maybe they haven't identified who they are like Joseph's brothers. Maybe all they can see is your greatness and they don't really know that they're great as well. So maybe you should have some compassion for them today. As you pray for yourself while you're going through this Ziklag season and things are going, with the ebbs and flows and everything is not going great all the time. Maybe when you're praying for yourself, you'll take some time and pray for them because your pain has purpose, and so do the people who caused it. I love you.